So Brandon Aiyuk, George Kittle in San Francisco. We can even throw Deebo Samuel. I think all three of these guys very interesting on their ADPs and kind of how people are feeling about them. So which of these three guys are you willing to if any, are you willing to reach for, or are you avoiding all three of them? Or depends on the price. So for me, I'm willing to reach for Ayuk. I'm a sucker for Ayuk. I think he's pretty good. I think he's really good. I think he's really talented, and I like his potential and upside. I'm willing to get Kittle at the right price, and I'm willing to get Deebo at the right price as well. I think this offense is really good. I like Brock Purdy, so I like San Francisco overall. What about you?
Yeah, Ayuk is definitely someone. I don't know how much I would reach for him because I think there's a lot of great receivers in that area. Like I just said, I like Christian Kirk a lot, but I would definitely be willing to take him a few picks or maybe even a round ahead of ADP. I like Ayuk a lot. The one guy I don't think I will have Kittle on any of my teams this year, even though he's one of my favorite NFL players. He's just fantastic. I
Yep.
think he's going to be too volatile week to week when you look at all the other mouths to feed in that offense. Deebo's going to get touches. Ayuk's going to get touches. McCaffrey's going to get touches. You're going to get some big games from Kittle, but I don't think he's worth, taking him in the 5th round of drafts as a guy who may have, 3 points one week and then may have 25 points the next week and you don't know. Deebo's interesting. I think Deebo is more of a, if he's at the right price kind of guy, because if you look at Deebo in his NFL career so far, he has not been healthy, and outside of 1 year, he has really not been this elite guy. First year in the NFL, 64 yards per game, 6 touchdowns. Second year, 59 yards per game and 1 touchdown. And then year 3, he goes for 110 yards per game and 14 touchdowns. Then back down to 60 yards per game and 5 touchdowns last year. One of those certainly seems like an outlier. So I don't know if I'm willing to reach for the outlier season, but there is the hope still there that he can have that elite wide receiver season again. So I'd be willing to have him on my team, but definitely not as a wide receiver 1, probably not as a wide receiver 2, probably someone who could play in my flex. And, if they don't have a good matchup, or we see early on that Ayuk's the guy, or they're really leaning heavy on McCaffrey, it's not going to burn my team that he's not getting a ton of production.
Great points, especially about Kittle. And we'll talk tight end rankings in a couple of weeks. Next week we'll do receivers, and then we'll wrap up. Tight ends. Have we done quarterback? We did quarterbacks. We did quarterbacks last week. So with tight ends, but I think your point about Kittle, he's down the pecking order for touchdowns and targets. That's why I mentioned a guy like Hockenson. I think Hockenson can truly be that second target in the Minnesota offense, and so there's value with that. And so you have to look across the league with, okay, what tight ends are going to be really relied on? You go up to New England. Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is one of those sleepers that's going to be relied on in this offense, or Mike Gesicki. So you have to kind of choose between one of those. But I think one of them could be, if not both, in an offense that they're trying to find an identity. And anyway, we'll talk more about that. But you're right. Kittle, as good of a name as he is, as good of a personality as he is, and he is awesome, but he's just not needed, because they got other guys. They got a lot of weapons there.